Hi, I'm John Lynch, and this is John Lynch Speaks. I'm in an underpass that I travel through a lot, like when I'm in town almost daily, and I love it. It is so beautiful. It's just really, really excellently done. But there's some limitations to any underpass or tunnel or covering. I was thinking about this as I was preparing thoughts for another installment of how grace has application to everyday life. I was thinking about this reality that when I'm under here, I don't get pure light. I don't get pure sunlight. Whatever it is, as beautiful as it is, all the properties of pure sunlight get diminished. And also, the power that the electrical charge in the atmosphere gets blocked and stunted in here. And if you hear my voice, you can hear it gets distorted. Voice gets distorted. Anytime there is a covering put on pure voice, it gets distorted. And so I was thinking about when I first started reading Scripture. I loved it. I would read it 13, 14 hours a day, 1979, December 23rd, all through that season. I couldn't stop reading it. But fast forward a few months and I started failing and I started doing wrong and I thought, what's wrong with me? And shame reared its head. And I would read Scripture now and think there is something uniquely, irreparably wrong about me. And I would read that into the Scriptures, same Scriptures, and then I started doing this to myself. Nobody did it to me, I did it. I started not only have a shame filter, but a moralism filter. You should, you ought, what's wrong with you? If any kind of a Christian, you ought to be doing more of this, and why can't you? And I never need to do that. The Scriptures don't need to be read by any filter. See, the beauty is I am a new creature. And Scripture now is to never condemn me. It did condemn Israel. I mean, they thought, here they were without a new heart, and they thought, I am righteous and I've got this. And then God's light, His absolute pure light of righteousness said, guys, you don't have it. You need a new heart. You need a Messiah. But for me now, the moment I put my hope in Jesus, I have that new heart. I'm a brand new creature, Christ in me. And so Scripture is never meant to condemn me one iota. Only build me up, encourage me, and tell me who I already am. See, I remember John 14. I remember reading that. If you love me, you'll keep my commandments. Except I was so frightened and so condemned, and I had these filters on Scripture that I read it this way. Like Jesus was somehow a pirate. Arr, if you love me, you better keep me commandments. Arr. If you love me. I know you says you does. I don't much think so. If you does, keep my commandments. And I'm not going to tell you how fast, how high, how many. Just do it and be afraid. Be very afraid. And I actually saw it that way. But the truth is, and this is where the original languages help us, that if is in a first-class conditional, meaning only this, that the if doesn't mean an if of uncertainty, but an if of certainty. It could just as well say, because you love me, you're going to find yourself keeping my commandments. Oh, by the way, two things. There's really only one now. I've fulfilled the 10 Commandments, and I'm going to ask you, just love one another. And this is who you really are. This is what you most want to do. Oh, guys, the fear is gone. I can come to His Word 24 hours a day without condemnation, but only to get built up. This is who we are. we can live this way. I'm John Lynch, and this is John Lynch Speaks.